this computer. And then let's start recording here. Hello, hello, hello. On the audio recording for the podcast. We got dual recordings happening here. One video for YouTube and then one video or audio for the podcast. So let me put my notes up here so I have everything that I want to go over today. Can put this up too. Perfect. Cool. So let's start in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So today's podcast episode comes from a question, an awesome question that I got in my DMs on Instagram. So it goes down in the DMs, friends. You can send me a DM. I am at Life Like London on Instagram and basically everywhere on social media, but especially on Instagram. Go ahead and shoot me a message because I will respond. I'll make a podcast episode out of this. And with the person's permission, I'm going to read you her question and talk about it on today's episode. So here it goes. Hi, London. This is Anna sending greetings from the Czech Republic. I just wanted to reach out and tell you thank you for your Self Love and Sweat podcast. I discovered it about 2 weeks ago and I've binge listened to all the episodes during my running trainings. If it's not too daring. I really enjoyed, first of all, I really enjoyed and appreciated your insights and tips that you share, especially when you talked about starting something new and moving abroad. If it's not too daring, I wanted to suggest an idea for an episode that I think could be interesting. How to manage feeling anxious and overwhelmed when you try to change some part of your life. I think it's relevant both to fitness and exercise, but also to life in general. When we start something new or when we want to change something, there's a ton of things we want to do and a tons of questions we don't know the answer to. I find it super hard sometimes to navigate the changes without breaking under the pressure. And I believe we all do worry. Am I doing this right? Am I doing enough? Should I be doing more of this or of that? I feel like you have so much insight and experience to share on this based on what you've shared in previous episodes, such as changing a job, starting your own business, and moving to a new country. I'm not sure if it's interesting, but I thought I'd share this with you and thank you for your podcast. I'm looking forward to next episodes. So love that question. I wanted to read it like straight up as is from the DMs because I feel like I love that she reached out. I love when you guys reach out. I love hearing these questions, these raw moments, these authentic moments, these moments where we're like, hey, this is what I'm going through, because it's so important when we ask for help. And we're not the only person that is struggling. And so when we, talk about our struggles and ask questions here, then a lot of other people get to, be helped and get value from that too and find benefit from that too. So thank you so much for that question, Anna from the Czech Republic. I'm so excited to talk about that today. So I wrote a variety of different points down that I want to share with you guys today because this is definitely something that happens when you start something new, when you start a new workout plan, training plan, life plan, goal, just whatever that might be. When you're starting a new job, whatever that might be. Anytime you're starting something new, it is the unknown. It is scary. We don't know what's going to happen. Thoughts and feelings and doubt and just a lot of stuff we have to learn. There's just a lot going on. And it's a lot of stuff that, quite frankly, at the beginning is new and is fresh and is, stuff we have to get used to and just, all the things, right? So I just want to first and foremost say that, we got to honor that struggle. That struggle is real. The times are tough. All the things that you mentioned will happen, are normal, probably won't go away. You'll just get better at managing them and get better at managing your mindset and your environment in a way that is conducive to helping you reach your goals, okay? And this is what we're going to talk about today. So the first point is check your circle. Is it a circle or a cage? Now, I think I've quoted this on a podcast episode before or maybe in my Self Love and Sweat monthly group, but the late rapper Nipsey Hussle said, check your circle of friends. If you don't feel inspired, you don't have a circle, you have a cage. So this is super important, to look around and see, who do I have around me? In this time, it's really important. Anytime you're starting something new, anytime you're doing anything, I want you to have a support squad around you. It's super important that the people around you are inspiring you, that they are on board for your goals and dreams and are just, uplifting and motivating and aren't Debbie Downers and aren't going to bring you down and aren't going to, try to, talk you down, talk you out of your big dreams and goals. We talk about this in the Mind, Body, Love program, which I talked about at the beginning of this podcast. In week 4, we talk about the 4 most important words and the 5 most important words. And the 5 most important words are surround yourself with good people, like checking in who you are around. Are they uplifting you? Can you be open and honest with them? Okay, that's very, very important. That's something that's going to help you tremendously on this journey. So when you are on this journey, make sure that you know you're not alone, right? You're not alone, but it's up to you to surround yourself with people who are going to be there for you and that are going to have your best interest at heart, that are going to be inspiring and uplift you, okay? That's point number 1. Point number 2 is share your struggle, okay? But it doesn't have to be everywhere on social media, but have this circle, okay? And have these go-to people, mentors, coaches, okay? This is super important to help and to listen and to give advice, okay? Don't hold everything in. Make sure you have an outlet for a lot of your questions and things that you need to ask and the struggles that you might be having, okay? Expect that you are going to have struggles. Things are going to be hard. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be rainbows and butterflies. And make sure that you share your struggle early and often. Make sure that you have people that you can go to share that with and to strategize with, to that will just, listen to you. Make sure that you are able to share that struggle and go into it knowing, hey, things are going to be tough. There's going to be things that I don't know. There's going to be a lot of things that I have to learn. There's going to be a lot of ways that I have to grow. And I need to make sure that I'm communicating that and I'm seeking out help and sharing that struggle early and often. Okay? Very important. Number 3, this is not by any means number 3 in terms of importance. It's probably at the top. I talk about this on every single podcast. Every time you do something coaching wise with me, follow your heart and your why. Figure out what is on your heart and put it down. Find that why, find that mission statement, okay? That foundation. Do that from the beginning, okay? Like I said, like I always say, it needs to be emotionally compelling. You need to be able to go back to it, okay? Especially when starting something new, right? We're going to go through a lot of struggles. There's going to be a lot of growing pains. There's a lot of things that you have to learn right at the beginning. A lot of, just a lot of things that, even if it's a new, health and fitness routine, for example, it's like new planning, you have to figure out, workout stuff. You're going to have to, figure out all the, the newness and the sore muscles and meal prepping and, what is protein and carbs and fat and what exercises should I be doing and how long and, where am I going to work out and what feels comfortable on my body and just like all the things that are new there. There's going to be a lot of things that you're going through, a lot of newness, a lot of struggles, a lot of the unknown, and your why, your foundation, you have to start there. So that way, no matter what's going on, okay, nothing is going to stop you from reaching that goal and being motivated by that why, being inspired by that why. That doesn't mean every day is easy and rainbow and butterflies and exciting and uplifting and hoop-de-ha, but it means that no matter what, you are relentless in doing what sets your soul on fire. You're relentless in that pursuit and in that why. So take your time with that why, get super clear on it, meditate on it, feel it, love it, own it, and become it. Like that's just seriously so, so, so important, okay? Like I said, don't do it alone. It's not all about you, okay? It's really important that you are working with somebody else, that you have a coach, that you have a team, that you have people around you that inspire you and uplift you so that you can gain from them and they can gain from you, right? You get out what you put in. And here's another point that I wrote down that is just like so the truth. Like so the truth. And it's just something that we have to come to terms with and just like learn to dance with, if you will. It's not a matter of any of these voices or thoughts going away. So a lot of these things that you said in the message, Anna, like I'm not enough, or am I doing enough? Am I doing the right things? I don't know a lot. So like, does that mean I'm qualified to do this? So it's not necessarily a matter of these voices going away or these thoughts going away. Like there are always thoughts that we have to reframe, that we have to say, hey, you know what? I'm not a failure. I just learned a way that this didn't work, that wasn't my best performance, but at least I learned X, Y, and Z to do better. I realize there's a lot I have to learn, but I just know that step by step, I'm confident in my ability to figure it out. I'm confident in my ability to show up each workout step by step, one by one, and really reframing a lot of those thoughts. We don't really have any other choice. I was watching or listening to, if you will, hold on, I'm going to grab some water. I was listening to a podcast, the Oprah podcast, one of her podcasts. She has a lot of them, but I listen to almost all of them. But one of them I was listening to, and she was doing a chat with Eckhart Tolle. Eckhart Tolle is just, a master mindset. His work is just so amazing. I'm sure you guys have heard of him, but he said something like, we around, I'm not quoting him exactly, but I just remember because I just listened to the podcast episode, was like, you're not your thoughts. So our thoughts can bring us down. I'm not enough. I'm not good enough. I can't do this. Who am I to do this? What do other people think? All the things. We are not the things that we think about. We're the observer of our thoughts. So when we're able to take the time, or when we should take the time to observe what we're thinking and reframe those, and just sit down with ourselves and be like, hey, you know what? If I'm going to really, really succeed at what my goals and my dreams and where I want to be in this life, it's going to be really important that I don't sabotage myself by myself, with my own thoughts, with what's going on in my mindset there. And it's going to be important for me that I start early on really owning what I'm thinking about, being an active participant in observing what I'm thinking about, changing, what's coming out of my mouth, what I'm saying based on my thoughts, what I'm saying when things are difficult. Am I approaching them like, oh, another thing that I have to do on this new project, or it's like, oh, wow, I'm learning something and I need to figure this out because, this project that I'm super excited about, I'm grounded in my why about, it depends on it. So it's going to be important that we go into it knowing, hey, these voices and thoughts are not necessarily going to go away, but I can reframe them. I can change the way that I see them. Trent Shelton, this guy he's a motivational speaker, author, does a lot of amazing things. He said, what would your life be like if your perspective was your superpower and not your prison? So it's going to be so important that you understand that the way that you perceive kind of what's going on around you, the way that you perceive these hardships that come with something new, that come with a new lifestyle, is going to be that magic sauce. It's going to be your superpower. It's going to be uplifting, exciting, or it can be your prison of like, oh, I have to do this, and gosh, this is hard, So it just depends on how you're going to show up for that. I'm just looking at the rest of my notes because I wrote down a lot of stuff, but I think I covered everything. This is the next point that's very, very important. I definitely didn't cover everything, but you need to get comfortable. I covered everything on that last point, but the next point, you need to get comfortable being uncomfortable in every sense of the word. Okay, so be on an active pursuit of getting uncomfortable, doing things that you say you're afraid of. For example, I jumped out of an airplane one time because I always told myself I was afraid of heights. I was in the middle of a career change. I was going to shift from working in the Runtastic office full time to working with them on a freelancer basis and doing online coaching, like what I'm doing now, like with this 6-week program, like with my online VIP coaching clients. And I decided, okay, I'm always told myself I'm afraid of heights. I'm about to take this big pivot in my career, this big leap of faith. I'm going to jump out of an airplane. I was terrified, but I did it. And then I ended up loving it. Okay. Continuing to do things that make you feel uncomfortable. Take a public speaking course. Do something, join a group, take a course, learn something new that you've always wanted to do, but has made you feel a little bit uncomfortable. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. So then when these uncomfortable situations come around, that inevitably come around when it's time to do something new, to get out of your comfort zone, when it's time to basically, get out of your comfort zone. Again, you'll have gone out of your comfort zone enough times to know, hey, I can do this. I've done this enough. I've pushed my limits enough to know that I have capabilities beyond my wildest imagination. There's abundant possibilities in this universe, and I got this. So it's really important to actively seek out being uncomfortable. So then you get to know it, right? So very, very important. Very, very important. In terms of I think this kind of goes with the why, but I put this here at the bottom of my notes as a note. You can do it for them. You know, those quotes that say like, oh, do it for them, do it for those that say you can't, right? I'm not like a huge fan of that, to be honest. It has to be for you, you know, maybe in the beginning, you know, some adversity or people that said that you couldn't, or like a motivation to start. But at the end of the day, it has to sit right with you. Okay. Because people's feelings and judgments of what you should be doing and what that looks like and why you're doing it and how you're doing it and all the things, they're going to change as fast as you change your socks and your underwear, right? They're going to be like people's moods and inputs and perceptions and what they want to say to you on any given day and their judgments or whatever, like that's going to change. And like, it's not your life if you're living it for somebody else and if you're living it for somebody else's opinion. So remember that. And at the end of the day, it has to be for you. Your mission and your why has to be bigger than how you're feeling at any given moment, right? Don't do it alone. Ask for help, get in group coaching programs, get a coach for one-on-one. Like I do this in my business, but I also always have coaches. I'm always, you know, looking to up level and connect, make sure that your circle is a circle and it's not a cage, right? And just understanding that, yeah, I can't make these thoughts go away, but I can reframe them and I can make sure that I'm showing up every day in a way that I'm proud of and excited about and going after something that like I couldn't not imagine doing, you know, when it really sets your soul on fire and you find that thing where you're like, that's it. That's what I want to go after. That's the goal that I have. That's the feeling I want to have. That's the freedom that I desire for my life. Then really nothing can stop you. And that doesn't mean it's going to be easy, but it definitely, I can speak from personal experience. It's always worth it. Always worth it when you push your limits, try something new, go after what your heart desires, have a solid plan, have that support system. And yeah, go after it. Thank you so much for your question. That was an awesome question. If you guys have any questions, feel free to always send them to me. I'm at Life Like London on all social media channels. You can hit me up there. Hope to see you in the Mind Body Love coaching program. It's going to be super awesome. Signups close May 28th. You can get early bird special till May 23rd, 6 weeks of group and possibly one-on-one coaching too. So I hope you're having a really beautiful day wherever you are in this world. Keep rocking it and live full out. See you next time. Bye.